Wealthy evening, team.
Wealthy evening, man. What's going on?
Hey,
Good
man, life is
evening.
great. Life is great. How's
Indeed, it
everything your week?
is. So you're looking through all your footage, huh?
Yeah, I was looking through a lot of my old footage today, from 2017 on up, and I dropped too many gems. I'm gonna start periodically releasing some of that footage.
It's crazy, man, because I went over some of your old footage, and I saw some of the things that you dropped, like when Solana was like in the sense, and you think about how you're just in the car and you're dropping knowledge that could potentially buy somebody a house in a couple of years. And they
Oh
might be
yeah.
looking at it and just be like, yeah, it's just Cliff talking, but they have no idea, the severity of not actually internalizing that information and doing something with it.
I think the biggest video, absolutely. I think the biggest video that I did on Solana in general was kind of like a I guess I can call it like a not almost throw it in your face type video. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
remember I told you about Solana in 2021, and yeah, if you'd have put this amount of, you just put, I think it was like $500, put 500
That's what
bucks
it
in
was. That
Solana.
was the video. That was the
That's the
video.
video. Yeah, it would have been like 400 some $1,000 in today's value. Yeah.
Yes. And I don't know if we had been working. I don't think we were working together yet because if I would have saw that video, I would have had 500 bucks in Solana right away.
Oh, yeah. But the crazy part about it is I have videos of me preaching to the top of my lungs about buy Solana, buy Solana, buy Solana. When Solana was like under $1 and nobody was paying attention. I had nobody on the post at all.
Oh man.
Like I, I have
Oh,
I have I have videos of me talking about Bitcoin in 2015 when Bitcoin was like $500 and telling people
jeez.
buy in, buy in, buy in, buy in, and nobody was paying attention to it.
Well, they better pay attention now in the bear market if we see some serious dropping.
Absolutely. Yeah. They probably won't, but 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10, they probably won't.
They're too busy on TikTok looking for the new dance challenge, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And are the next meme coin, which the meme coin market is completely eradicated now. It's no such like a lot of the alts are getting ready to completely dissipate. Which,
Oh yeah.
you guys have been around for a while, so I've been telling y'all this for how long? The altcoins are going to get ready to go out of the box. So It's getting to the point to where everything is going to be in the premium 50, the top 50, and anything outside of that is going to be like no man's land.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that green light when you tell us it's time to either swap our, our alts or our premium memes
Mhm.
into stables so that I can throw it back into Solana and ETH and Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, because the ETFs are going to be the next big money makers outside of the new the futures market, the market we're talking about today. So yeah, it's a lot of interesting information that's going on that's being thrown out right now, and a lot of interesting moves that are being made in the background that people are really not paying attention to. But we will, and we will definitely capitalize on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, team, let's go ahead and dive into it. Let's see, we got a few people on. I give it 2 more minutes. All right. So, do we have any questions, any concerns while we're waiting for the next minute and a half, 2 minutes? I see a lot of people are actually not even on today. That Christmas holiday.
No, I just want to say thank you for kind of helping me break free of the over trading and the greed because I think a lot of times I was chasing the really high percentages and I was too. And now that I'm just focusing on just like 12%, I have a goal to get a full month, maybe a month or two of 12% to where I'm confident, and then I'll go up to 15, then I'll go up to 20 and just keep increasing so that once my capital is there, I already know that I can make that on a daily basis.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That the 15, I say being able to hit that 15% consistently, that's what's going to really, really separate you from the rest. Separate anybody in general from the rest, to be honest. Because once you get that consistent flow, bro, it doesn't matter whether you have $100 in the market, you have 1,000, $10,000 in the market. Your goal is to hit that 15%. It's all about just disciplining yourself to stick with the program,
Yeah.
sticking with the plan. And that's the hardest thing to break. But once you break that, it's the easiest thing in the world to do. You know what I mean?
No, it is because the hardest thing in the world is to, or I wouldn't say hard, but it's easy to be greedy, and it's hard to not be like, oh, I can get 20, I can get 30, I can get 40 when you've already gotten your 15 or your 12 or
Mhm.
15%. But when you get that, it's like, oh, that's easy. I can do that because I was shooting for the moon.
Hmm. And usually when we shoot for the moon, we end up falling to the floor. But
Mhm.
once you get that discipline to have that 15, that 15, that 15, that 15, that 15, or even at 20, 25, I mean, the world opens up to you. Like I said, at that point, it doesn't matter how much money you put in the market. You can put 1,000 in the market. Your goal is still to hit that 15%. The only thing you're moving differently is those zeros. That's it.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right. So let's dive into a team. Today is the beginning level of limits. Limits. Now, everybody should be well efficient in the scalping market, correct? Anybody still having any struggles with the scalping market? Speak now,
No,
for hold your peace. Anybody having any trouble?
I don't
Okay,
have any trouble. I don't have any trouble. I just don't really scalp. I've been really more swing trading.
good brother.
So
Absolutely. Yeah. Scalping is not for the weak at all. And truth be told, it's not really for the strong either. We rarely scalp. Well, we scalp all the time, to be honest. But our goal is to be consistent in the markets. Scalping is the most inconsistent way to trade this market, right? There are different coins for different days. You'll never find a set coin that you can just automatically scalp. We dive into a multitude of different ways, different coins to actually scalp. But day trading, swing trading, those are the most is what we're getting ready to go into right now. Those are the best ways for you to really, really gauge in on what we're doing and how to build that consistency up. So today is all about alerts, all about riding resistance and supply lines, resistance and supply lines. All right. Now, let me go ahead and get this out. Give me a second. There we go. Now, we talked a little bit the other day last week about resistance and supply lines, right? Invisible resistance lines, resistance lines, invisible supply lines. Now, this exercise that we're going to dive into today is going to be pivotal for you to really, really be able to recognize patterns, because we're getting ready to go into the realm of recognizing certain patterns, right? So this red line above, this is your resistance zone. All right, it shows where the market topped out and actually went and started retracting back down. This blue line here is called a support zone or a support line. All right, it's where the market actually bottomed and started to rally back up. Now, even though you see the clear resistance and support lines, there are things called invisible resistance and invisible support lines. Case in point, even though this candle wicked out here, it fell right on the top of these two candles here. This is also a resistance line, a resistance zone, because at this point, the market started to retract back down. Let me get my tool out so you can actually see it a little bit better. Right about here. Resistance line, where the market started to tank back down. If you notice here, across the bottom, right above this blue line, you'll see where we actually touched on the bottom of 1, 2, 3 candles. This right here is called a support line. This is where all the support or demand was before the market started to rally back in this direction. Make sense?
Yep. Yes.
All right, cool. So learning how to recognize these is highly important to where you know when to get in and get out of the market. Case in point, you see how everything is going in a straight line here. This was called a consolidation zone. Everything is consolidating, everything is going in a straight line. Even though we have breaks here, where the candle actually went down in 3 different engulfing candles, where you could have shorted the market here, for the most part, this market is going sideways. Let me do this right quick. I want you to take a screenshot of this. If you see a market moving in this motion, don't trade it. We like markets to be moving either up, or we like the market to be flowing downward. If you see it going in a straight line across, do not trade that market. Too much inconsistency in that type of market. You want it to have a steady flow up or a steady run down. Now, for the exercise, I want everyone this week, which I'll give you that on the homework assignment later, to actually do support and resistance zones all week long, 3 to 5 charts all week long, every single day, and send me screenshots of everything that you do. Highlight it and send me screenshots. Now, honestly, it's easy to do it on the phone or iPad, but you can also do it on your laptop or desktop computer. All right. So, looking at the zones, top resistance here, bottom demand here, looking at what's going on actively in this play right now, the market is doing a what motion?
Downward.
Definitely downtrend. It's tanking, all right? Tanking heavy. Really, really tanking. All right. Now, when you see a market falling like this, you want to go to a later time period to see where you can kind of catch the ambush on the previous demand line. So when day trading the markets, we trade the 15, 30, 1 hour time frames. 15, 30, 1 hour time frames. All right. Use the 15 to show the heavy flow of the market, what's happening right now in the market, the faster, quicker movement. Use the 30 for your execution point. 9 times out of 10, you're going to try to execute on your 30-minute chart. It gives you the most accurate read. We look at the 1 hour chart to see where we could potentially find the next move to rally or ambush to play in the opposite direction. Now, looking at the 1 hour chart, we've tanked past any resistance, right? Sometimes you got to flow into the 2 hour chart. This was the last demand. This demand happened November 22nd. We surpassed this demand line now, right? Which means this market is going to continue doing what? 9 times out of 10, it's going to continue to flop. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. It's all about research. MMG members, remember when XRP actually did this move?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, tanked the entire market, went down to 118 in seconds. All right. Now, looking at the scale now, you can see on the 4-hour chart, we can see the next demand line, which was here, right? We've surpassed this demand line, which means this market is going to continue falling. It's going to continue tanking. It's all about research, going back out, scanning back out to see where we can find the next potential long or next potential short. Go to the 1-day chart. All right. This was that previous demand line here. Now you see how I kind of went through the time periods to see where I can find the best entry point. Now, technically, this would be setting up a swing trade, not a day trade, right? Because we had to go through so many different measures to actually find the different entry point. But right here, at the base of these candles, if you notice where this supply line is right now, if I go straight across, it hits right here on the bottom of the active candle. Y'all notice that?
Yep.
Y'all still here?
Yeah.
Yeah, see it.
All right, cool. Which means 9 times out of 10, we're getting ready to surpass this demand line. Now, this right here is the base of this movement before we started to rally back up the last time, right here. Now, what I would do is right now we're at 177.63. Instead of putting in an order to ride a wave out right here at 1.7205, I'll do something called an alert. I want to put an alert right here. I want to add an alert right here on this mark. Now, the way you add an alert is you want to right click your laptop or right click your mouse, and you'll go down to this point right here where it says add an alert. Click on add an alert. All right. You want to do it for every single time. You want to do it when it crosses. The crossing means whenever it crosses back and forth on that point. Make sure it's set for every single time so you can get multiple different alerts. And you want to create that alert. Now, this allows you to view the market, to see exactly where the market is going, or see where the market has the potential to go without actually entering a trade and losing money. Now, if we surpass this point, this support zone is inevitable, which means this will be the point to where we put our trade in to ride the market way back up. That makes sense?
Yep.
Make sense, team?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool. So let's put our limit order in at one. Let's write this limit order down. We're not putting it in yet. Let's write this limit order down at 1.6149. 1.6149. Make sure you keep this number because this right here is going to be 9 times out of 10 is going to be your next entry point for XRP. And if you're brave enough, you can actually do this with live money. It's getting down to the low point. Y'all notice? Did y'all notice the date on this, right? It's getting down to the low point it actually hit when around April of this year. XRP is tanking. Coaches, can y'all drop that in the chat for me?
Did you want us to drop it in the Zoom chat?
Yeah, you can drop it in the Zoom chat and also drop it in the BBA if you guys want. If you want.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, cool. Thanks, Coach Ronda. All right. So let's go ahead and set this. I'm gonna go ahead and set that play up just for for purpose of the trade. Let's see. Go to Blowfin. All right. XRP. There we go. And that was 6-1. Four nine. Excuse me. 6-1-4-9. We'll just mark up to 9 or 10x. I mean 10%. Make sure your leverage is at a 9x. Because this is a legal extortion course, so we're definitely moving on up. No 3, no 5x, no 7x, on at least 9x. All right. Once said I'll take profit, stop loss up. All right. Now, I would not put, I'm gonna say this again. I would not put a take profit on this play. I will let it ride from this point on the way up towards us going in back into the 115, 120 mark for Bitcoin. I wouldn't put a take profit. But for the course, I'm gonna put a 20% take profit on it. And I'm gonna do a 22% stop loss. Buy long. There we go. All right. Anybody have any questions on how we came up to that conclusion for this play?
I just had a quick question. So basically, what you were saying is just look at the longer time frames to see where it's going. That way, you can jump in.
That's one different strategy. We're going to start looking at different pattern strategies in later dates. But right now,
that's what you.
Right now we're working on resistance and support zone.
Okay, so if it was a swing trade, you'd look at the day, and to see where it's going.
Trade. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's right. And if it's a day trade, you would be looking at the 1 hour.
Most of the time, you want to start off with the 30-minute, going into the 1 hour, 15-minute on the earliest time. But yeah, so oftentimes day trades convert over into swing trades.
Okay.
So to find the best placement, you want to go to the later time periods because, as you can see, it always goes back to the previous demand lines to where you can kind of pinpoint exactly where you have the highest potential to actually hit next time.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, so I guarantee you, Solana's gonna look the same way because everything right now is tanking. Especially XRP because there's a lot of people dumping XRP right now. A lot of people. Solana looks a little better. All right. But similar. Solana is also dumping like crazy right now. Now, I know a question that a lot of you guys might have is why would I not just ride the market wave down? I'm pretty sure a couple of y'all have that question, right? Here's the thing. It is not safe to play both sides of the market. Oftentimes, you get your butt handed to you trying to ride an already falling market wave down or already skyrocketing market up because there's too much uncertainty. You have no idea when that market is going to flip around on you. And because we trade with higher leverage, It can flip around you on the drop of a dime and do a small drop or a small long and liquidate you. So your goal is to try to ambush the market on certain points. This point being certain resistance and support zones. Resistance and support zones. So looking at Solana right now, what do you think the next practical place would be to put a market order or to put an order in, limit order in?
Where that lower demand.
Yeah, because we've already surpassed this one, right?
Yeah, I can't. I don't see. I'm trying to see where it is. Below that one. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Yeah. And if I was to go up, you'll see we actually hit right here off of this mark. This was the top. This was the base of the candles. I'm trying to see if I can spread it out. Let's see. The base of the candle sits right here. All right, at 105.114. 105.14. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put an alert here. All right, crossing 105.14 every time. Great. We want to see if we can tap dance on top of this level right here to see if we can surpass this point. If we surpass this point, guess where the market is heading towards? Where the demand is, 95.26. Make sense, team? You see how easy it is to ride those demand and resistance zones? Now, to give you an example of how well this strategy actually works, we have some MMG members on today. How many times did Fartcoin hit that alert that we put in last Sunday?
Did Bitcoin?
That Fartcoin alert that we put in.
Oh, Fartcoin maybe like 10, 12 times.
10, 12 times. We hit on the same exact point 10, 12 times last week. We put that alert in Sunday. I got in at least 12 times and flipped at least 12 times. The Bitcoin limit order that we put in at, I want to say, was it 105,046? That one has hit today at least 6 times. That's why you want to utilize your alerts versus putting in entries. Because once you utilize your alerts, it alerts you and lets you know what's going on with that market. We know if we hit this alert and it starts to rally back up, I can get into a nice long. If it hits this alert and rallies back down, this market is still going to go down even further, and I can try to catch it at that resistance point. I mean, at the demand line. This is crucial when it comes down to the success of your trading. Learning this skill set mixed with a multitude of other different skill sets. All right. So let's put this order in at 90. Is that 98.80? No, right here, 97.05. It's crazy that Solana got down to this point.
Good time to dollar cost average.
Absolutely. Side note, definitely. Glad you said something about it. This is a great time to be buying in Solana and XRP for your holding bags.
Cliff.
Yes.
I know at one time you were saying that it was possibly time to unload on XRP. So if you did, would this be a time to load back up?
I would wait for it to bottom all the way out first.
Okay.
Yeah, bottom close to the demand line we just pinpoint. Mm-hmm. Even though depending on how much you buy, it will make that much of a difference. Like if you're going to buy, say $10,000 with the XRP, then yeah, it will make a huge significant difference. But I would try to get it down as close to that demand line as possible before I buy in. All right. Let's dive into BTC.
What was that last limit, Cliff, for Solana? 97 what?
90,
Sorry.
90, it was
9705.
95. Yeah, 9705. 9705.
9705. All right, thanks, guys.
My numbers are off tonight. All right, let's dive into BTC. Is this making limit orders more clear to you? Y'all still here? Hello?
Yep.
All right, make sure I'm still on. All right, cool. Looking at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is making the same type of moves. All right, let's go to the 4 hour. All right. Bitcoin looks a little similar, but not really. All right. Bouncing off of this crossing right here. We definitely surpassed this demand line here, heading towards this demand line here, which is right on that 87 mark. Right here, right on that mark. But look how close this demand is to Bitcoin right now at the 85 mark. If we were to go right, literally right there on that mark, this is where we actually put an alert at the 85,046.6 mark that Bitcoin kept hitting and tap dancing on multiple times today. All right. And if you notice right here, we went below it and then bounced right back on top of it right here. All right. Now we're definitely still in a short order right now, with the bottom potentially being around that 83, 84 mark. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to put another alert right here. Right here on that, let's see, let's put one right here below that demand, right here on the demand line at 84,928.1. And see if we can get as low as 83.817.1. All right, let's do one more. See if we can get a risky one going there. Huh? Something that's out of the ordinary. See what Pump is doing. Now this one has a completely different ball game, right? Not really. This one tanked. Be gracious. This one did a free fall. So we're gonna go to an earlier time period. Let's go to the 15. See if we can get a deeper, more insightful look. Now, two different types of day trades / swing trades. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, XLM. Those type of coins are coins that can convert over into swing trades, right? Those are what we consider our premium day trades. A coin like Pump could be a scalp / day trading coin, right? So you got to handle this one with a little bit more care than you would handle like a Bitcoin or XRP or Solana. Now, looking at Pump, this thing has been free falling for a while. All right, it's been tanking for quite a while, days. But if we look closer, we'll see that we actually had a consolidation zone here. Well, the market went sideways, and it broke through right here, which gave us a nice long play for the moment, right? But the overall market is still going where? Down. So let's check our other charts. Looking at our stochastic, we're still at the bottom of the zone here. We just flipped into a buyer's order here, which means it's 9 times out of 10, this market is going to continue flowing where? Up. Our trend flow and our resistance just touched, which also gives us the indication that the market is going to continue flowing up. So with this play right here, you want to kind of ride off with a wave of this market. I would actually even put a market order in on this one, but definitely watch it. But let's hit off the bottom of this candle right here at 0.001843 and try to catch the momentum going back up. 0.001843. 1843. 1843. This one you definitely want to take profit on. I'm gonna do a 20% take profit, 22% stop loss. And now we're sitting right here waiting for this order to drop back down temporarily, fulfill this order, and continue rallying that market wave up. Especially since we see all these indicators that the market is going to continue flowing upwards. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right, cool. So we have time for questions. Questions? Any questions? No questions? All right, cool. All right, so homework for this week and next week, because next week we will be off because of Christmas. Homework. I want you to find the invisible demand and resistance lines on 5 charts a day. Highlight them and send them to me. Text them to me, or you can shoot them to me directly on Messenger. MMG members, you guys can do this as well. Send them directly into our group chat. All right. Any questions before we jump off today?
I did have a question.
What's up?
When we are, you know how we're charting, a lot of times when we chart different ones, the same resistance lines is the same. So when you're giving us the homework, do you want us to just pick different coins that we haven't already charted?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, explore the market a little bit. Yeah, definitely explore the market, because like the premiums kind of pretty much run hand in hand with each other. So that's kind of like cheating. You know,
I
It's
love
pretty.
it because I go to it and the lines is already there.
Yeah, trust me, I understand. But explore, for instance, how we just went and found this one with pump. Find a different coin. Get familiar with a different token, especially for this. Now, when it comes down to the ones you trade your premiums. But when it comes down to the homework assignments, just so you can get a clear understanding of reading those patterns, definitely, most definitely, always go directly for a coin that you haven't played around with
That was a good point. Good question, Rhonda. Follow up to that. So when we're plotting out the resistance and support lines, I use the same indicator as you do, the support resistant line.
yet.
Are we looking for the invisible support resistant line?
Invisible, not the support and resistance. Yeah,
Got it.
invisible.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Any question? Any other questions, team? All right. We have no other questions. I will see you guys after Christmas. All right. Let me know if you need anything. And Merry Christmas.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Chris.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks. Have a good Christmas.
All right. Have a great holiday, everyone.
You too.
All right. Bye.